Aloha and welcome to the National Tropical Botanical Garden. My name is Walt McCoy, Tour Program Manager here at the Southshore Gardens on beautiful Kauai. Our organization, a private nonprofit, is dedicated to saving tropical plants. For nearly 50 years, our mission has been the discovery, conservation, scientific research, and public education involving tropical plants. Now, why is this important? The delicate balance of our planet's biodiversity hinges on the cornerstone elements that plants provide us. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are all reliant on healthy and vibrant ecosystems. Over 80% of all plant life on Earth are found in tropical regions. In our world today, 1/3 of these plants are in peril of being lost forever. The National Tropical Botanical Garden, in concert with leading botanical organizations worldwide, is dedicated to making a difference in those staggering numbers, one plant at a time.
You know, this was Robert Allerton's favorite room. It was the first room he put together. One of the things a lot of people don't know is the fact that Robert Allerton was actually almost completely deaf. He had contracted scarlet fever at the age of 8. And so people thought he was aloof, but really what it was, he couldn't hear very well. When he came into this room, the clicking and clacking, moaning and groaning of the bamboo as the wind passed over represented kind of a nice escape for him.
We often have allows come to honor Queen Emma. Behind us is Queen Emma's cottage that she lived in the 1870s. She was one of the last Hawaiian monarchs and one of the best loved. And she still has many mele songs written about her. Hula troops love to come, especially to this spot, and honor her with the story and song.
This is a special place. And for them to be able to go into the house, it's the only tour we offer that allows them to go into the house. Kick off our shoes, walk through, there's a library, an art collection. We go into one of the bedrooms. While they're out exploring, I'll set up a buffet of some heavy poo-poos, appetizers, soft drinks, call them what you may. Call the guests in, set up tables on the courtyard, weather permitting, and serve them their dinner out here. Once that's pow, we go up the hill, get back to the parking lot at about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Nice afternoon.
All right, Ryan, here we are. We're in the Moreton Bay figs, the Jurassic Park trees.
1992, Steven Spielberg filmed here Jurassic Park, and he really used these trees to the best of his abilities. We're actually looking at some of these buttress roots, and as they come down, this is where Dr. Grant and the children found the raptor eggs in the movie. And people come from all around the world with their Jurassic Park t-shirts on to come and see where the eggs are. Walt, this watercourse is modeled after one at the home of the Italian president, the Villa Caprarola outside of Rome. And it's set on a 3% gradient, series of narrowing and widening of the channels, baffles at the entrance to the narrows. Over distance creates an undulation. Guess what happens to the water? It becomes scalloped itself, okay? Terminates in a pulsation, that pulsation about 52 to 54 beats per minute, said to result in what's called the Neptune effect, which is achieved by sitting down on the bench, waiting about 10 to 15 minutes. Your heart rate will actually try to replicate that 52 to 54 pulses per minute rhythm.
We've been coming to the island for 13 or 14 years, and about 7 years ago we came to the gardens on a tour. The tour director at the time invited us to come and volunteer for the next week.
He told us it was a wonderful opportunity to pick weeds.
And we've been picking
and we've
weeds
been coming ever since.
Ever since.
Oh, this is a great place to be. We have many, many people from all over the U.S. and a lot of Canadians. We have a great director. We've got good volunteers. We have good staff people.
The majority of the plants that guests will encounter, wild collected by our field biologists, and we currently do have 3 field biologists and or botanists on staff at this point, and what they do is they travel the tropical world, collecting small plants, seeds, cuttings, bringing them back to our nursery, propagating them, and then the majority of those plants actually through our restoration projects then put back into habitat to rebuild ecosystems, and the plants that are not put back into their natural habitat are added to our living collections here.
So tell us a little bit about the canoe plants.
Well, there are 30 or so plants that the Polynesians brought with them on their voyaging canoes, and they were more utilitarian, basically plants that they would need to survive in a brand new and unknown environment.
So plants for food, plants for medicine, plants for building things, all brought with them because they really didn't know what was going to be here when they got here.
Yes, and it was a good thing they brought those plants with them because here in Hawaii, predating humans, there wasn't any starch. So it is a very good thing they brought breadfruit and taro.
Right.
And actually off to your right-hand side, you can see taro, that's what the Hawaiians call kalo right there.
So this is Bergamia insignis, what the Hawaiian name is Alula. And this plant is kind of iconic for the garden because years back, the National Geographic Society did a special on Steve Perlman and Ken Wood and their conservation work on this species. Their population of these plants have been pushed all the way back to the steepest parts of the Napali coast. And so they had to rope off and rappel down the cliffs to get to these plants. And then they found that these plants were not producing seed on their own. So they invested a lot of time and started collecting pollen with little paintbrushes and carried the pollen from one plant to the next to cross-pollinate the flowers. And in that way, we were able to get seeds from the plants in the wild.
So Nate, we just finished our walk across Big Valley, and here we are coming upon just another iconic feature of the McBryde Garden, Stillwater Dam.
So while we're here on the Spice Alive Trail, and we're in front of one of the guests' most favorite trees, this is chocolate, otherwise known as cacao or botanically Theobroma cacao. And I am holding right here just about a mature fruit of the chocolate tree. And chocolate is not the fruit itself, it's actually the seeds within the fruit where chocolate is derived from.
All right, Nate, here we are, Waihu Falls, right in the McBryde Garden. And we want to remind guests that the only way to get up here and see these beautiful waterfall is to go on our Hawaii tour or our guided McBryde tour.
Oh, definitely. It's just an amazing guest experience.
It really is. Our guests absolutely love coming up here. So we want to thank you for joining us today in the McBryde and Allerton Gardens. Mahalo and aloha.